All right, it's story time. Okay, so I haven't learned how to edit on YouTube yet, so my videos might be of poor quality, but at least you can hear me. Okay, so this is the story as a follow-up response to my Twitter. For those of you guys out there who, you know, are interested in following me on Twitter, my Twitter is basically my email address, so it's blakeajr@gmail.com. This is a follow-up to the tweet where I said I wanted to tweet about this story. So there was this TikTok video. This girl, she was at a frat party and she put a pill in a drink, and I retweeted that off somebody else's page, and I saw it and I was like, I have to comment on this. Okay, so I'm really exploiting some. I'm exposing some people right now. Okay, so long story short, I was in college, and there was one girl that I knew. I'm not gonna say her name for the sake of her privacy, I guess. So there was one girl I knew, and she had a friend. Both these girls were pretty young. They're probably 20, 21 now. They were 19 at the time. I was about 23. I was in college, second time in college, and we went over to this guy's house who I connected with while we were on campus. And he went to a local private school that I went to, and I said, well, let's hang out. So me and him got to hanging out. He seemed like a cool guy, and we went over to his place. And all right, so here's where it gets crazy. So I tell him, I say, I know these two girls, they're pretty cool. And he says, all right, bring them over. So I say, all right, cool. So I bring the girls over, who will remain nameless, and this guy's name will also remain nameless. Um, Long story short, this guy, he's got his own apartment, he's got his own place and stuff. I'm staying in a dorm. These girls are staying in a dorm, and he's got he's got drinks, right? He's got alcohol in his place. So, we're hanging out. There's music. There's like a flat screen TV, pretty luxurious place, unlike the place I'm in now. But that's irrelevant. So the girls, they say they want a drink. So he acts like he starts making these drinks. He's mixing the drinks, and he acts like he's telling me like a secret. And I'm thinking to myself, well, this is just some bullshit. Something silly is going on. And so he basically signals to me like he's about to like put something in their drink. And I'm thinking to myself, I've never seen anything like that before. So uh I'm like, all right, thinking to myself like this guy can't be serious. So he makes the drink. I don't see anything wrong with the drink at all. Like I never saw him put anything in the drink or anything like that. All I know is that he insinuated that, and the girls are watching us the whole time. So, and we're all talking, having a good time, I guess. And basically, long story short, he makes a drink for all of us. He makes a drink for uh, this guy's. He's not a frat guy. This guy, he wasn't a frat guy at all. At the time, he came from, I guess, like a decent family. I don't know. I don't want to incriminate anybody, but I thought that this was interesting, so I wanted to put this story out there because to me it was just so insane. Like it was just so absurd. So long story short, he hands each of us a drink, and, or excuse me, no, he hands the two girls the drinks first. So the girls, they catch on, and the one that he hands a drink to, she just passes it to me. So I'm thinking to myself, I don't think anything of it. I'm just thinking, okay, well, she just doesn't want the drink. Oblivious to, what was actually going on. Apparently they caught on. So I drink the drink. 5 to 10 minutes later, I'm out. I drank 2 drinks total, and I pretty much blacked out. We started drinking at like 10 p.m. and I woke up at 2, 3 in the morning. When I woke up, I was throwing up on myself. Didn't know what happened. All I knew is that, 5 hours had passed and I was out, was totally unconscious. And it was really traumatic. Like, I remember I started crying and all this stuff. Um, and it was really weird for me because, like, the one girl who I guess this guy was, I'm assuming, I don't know, she ended up sleeping with this guy, right? So for me, it's weird because this guy tried to spike this girl's drink. I ended up getting drinking the spiked drink, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, this guy tried to rape this girl. So me and this girl had an interesting relationship after that. She would, come over to my place or say she wanted to come over. Sometimes I'd find her in there. I wouldn't even want her in there. And one night we ended up sleeping together, and she takes her clothes off in my bed. So I'm like, all right. So I think she's cute. I think she's like decently attractive. And I'm assuming she's attracted to me because she keeps on wanting to talk to me and stuff. Long story short, she takes her clothes off in my bed. So without getting into details, we have sex. Cons- Consensual sex. Here's how you know it's consensual. She puts her butt on me. She's not wearing any clothes. So I say, all right, I'm horny. So we switch positions, and I look at her and I'm like, she's like, are you going to put it in? And I'm like, yeah. So we end up having sex. Uh, some time passes. It's over. And we pretty much snuggle up to each other and go to sleep. Everything's fine. Morning comes, she says, I have class. I say, I have class too. Everything's good. So midday hits, and she says, I didn't actually want to have sex. So I said, okay, what do you mean? And she's like putting pressure on me at this point. She's like, I didn't want to have sex, Chris. She's like, what does that mean? And I'm like, are you trying to, like, that doesn't work. So me and her are going back and forth about this. Long story short, this girl makes like a fake Instagram account about me and stuff. My ex, who I recently broke up with at the time, she gets involved. I have to go to the police because she's like, this girl's harassing you and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I know she's harassing me. I just think it's like a little petty. But she's like, no, you need to do something. My ex is really getting on my case about this. She's like, you have to do something about this now. So this really blows my mind. That one tweet that I retweeted, I thought about this because I thought to myself, I'm like, this girl had sex with this guy who she didn't know. She thought he was attractive, but she didn't know him. And he actually tried to spike her drink and rape her. And me and her had consensual sex, and she's like, yeah, I didn't want to do it, so you raped me. And I'm like, so the reason why this is so frustrating for me is because it really hits home for me. I hate to do this, but it's the truth. It hits home for me because this whole thing that happened with Bill Cosby, I don't know Bill Cosby. I don't I don't know these women. I don't know what he's going through, but sometimes girls just flat out lie. Like sometimes there's more going on than meets the eye. And I've been through that exact case. I don't know whether or not, I'm like some type of anomaly or whatever, but it just blows my mind. Like I've heard other stories about this too. So I had to make a video about this. This is my insane story. For those of you out there that have been through this, or whatever, maybe you want to comment on it. Let me know what you think about this. And I will say to other people involved, we're white, and I'm obviously black or darker skin. I don't know if that plays a role. I mean, of course it plays a role, but like when I encounter this stuff out in the world, I'm like, this can't be this. This is not real. Like people can't actually be like this. And then it's real, and I'm like, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. Anyway, comment on this. Let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna upload another video pretty soon. This is just a controversial story. There are more controversial stories I have, but yeah. Let me know what you guys think about this. If you guys, I can make a second video going into more detail. I can talk about more controversial topics that I've personally experienced in my life as a 25-year-old black male, I guess. And I'm gonna try and upload some other videos of value too, because I often think to myself, I'm like, my life is pretty interesting. Anyway, stay tuned for more content. I'll get better at editing video stuff a little later. All right, I'm off.